pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And my motion to
I move to approve the agenda.
second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Which passes 2-0. Minutes. Starting with that.
Okay, this Monday, July 2026, Macomb County Commissioner minutes. Terry Phillips, South Road Foreman, met with the board to discuss vehicle and trailer repair, gravel pits, and road department issues. Roger Sheriff, Circle Fire Chief, met with the board to discuss recent fires and fire department issues. Burn permits are required for any fires in Macomb County. The permits must be renewed each year. People may be charged for fire response if there's no burn permit before a fire is started. Alan Pyrotech spraying met with the board to provide an update on noxious weed spraying. Board of Commissioners in Macomb County, Montana met in the regular session with Ty Taylor, Lonnie Jensen, and Ellen Stemple present. Presiding officer Ellen Stemple called the meeting to order. The Pledge of Allegiance was recited. Commissioner Taylor moved to approve the agenda. Commissioner Jensen seconded the motion, and the motion passed 3-0. Carrie Eisinger, Deputy Clerk and Recorder, met with the board to discuss county issues. The July 13, 2026 minutes were approved as amended. Commissioner Jensen reported on the planning board meeting he attended on July 7, 2026 at the Senior Center. Commissioner Stemple reported on the Transportation Committee meeting he attended on July 16, 2026 in Hawaii. Paul Skyberg, Sheriff, met with the board to discuss vehicle repairs, Operation Stone Garden, and law enforcement issues. Alexandra Amonette, Energy Reform Representative, met with the board by phone to discuss energy permitting at the federal level. The board attended the Board of Health meeting at 11 a.m. The board attended the LEPC meeting at noon. The meeting was open to public participation at 1 p.m. Floyd Jogger met with the board to discuss noxious weed control.
The line before the voucher number.
Oh,
And voucher number 1000, and I've got warrants instead of warrants. So
I
scratch the S on warrants.
voucher number 1000 for warrants.
Yeah, it's gotta be warrant, because it's just the one.
Okay. Speed reading here. I got
Yeah, no, you're good.
number 101402 in the amount of $484.11 was reviewed and approved. Lloyd Yager met with the board to discuss noxious weed control. Gary Taylor, DES coordinator, met with the board to discuss. Hi, Elaine, how are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Question one. When you said that that Roger had the floor, there's a lamp started, do you meant to had the fluorescent lamps disposed, or?
He told us that he ordered one and it was the wrong one and he had to reorder it. So
Order more fluorescent lights and dispose of the ones that we don't use anymore.
oh,
We talked to the G&G garbage people, and they can just be thrown in the. They'd probably prefer if they went in like a bag first, like a big black trash bag, but they can be thrown away.
Okay.
on that water down there, Lane, I don't know if there's anything that can be, you gotta let it run a long time and then it gets warm. I don't know if you noticed that, or it gets hot.
And the sink,
In the sinks, yeah, downstairs, where it takes such a long time for, it does get hot, but the building sits there and the hot water doesn't get used very often, and then it's an old building and I don't know what would, the water heater is fine. So I don't know what else can be done with that. Remember last year we had you weed eat around those containers at the nursing home. Could we get you to do that again?
Sure.
Okay. Anyone?
The guys that bring the rugs, it's getting to be really expensive for them to bring the rugs all the time. If we bought rugs, do you think you could vacuum often them enough to keep them clean? Or do you think we really need to keep getting our rugs changed every 2 weeks? You can think about it. I don't need an answer right now, but we're thinking maybe to save money, we should buy rugs. So, just for something you think about.
I can buy rugs every couple of weeks.
No, we're not buying them every couple of weeks, but we pay a service. The guy comes in and he rolls them up and he brings us new ones. So it's a cleaning service for the rugs. So our another option is that we buy rugs and then you'd be responsible just for vacuuming them to keep them clean.
I've been vacuuming them at least once a week.
Okay. So okay. So we might do that then.
Yeah.
So
We tried to get them to come just once a month and they said they couldn't do that. So we're just looking at different options. So.
We're good then.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yep, you too. Kerry Taylor, DES coroner, met with the board to discuss the cemetery software. The board will continue to look for someone to manage the software program and cemetery plots. Commissioner Taylor abstained from the discussion. Correspondence occupied the board for the rest of the day. The meeting adjourned at 5 p.m. I move to approve the amended minutes.
Second.
Aye.
So that's the minutes. Do you have any committee reports?
Yeah, on the 20th, I attended a fair board meeting.
Oh, okay.
And they got a lot of stuff going on, for the interview judging and stuff, Tandy has rented the CCM room so they'll do all that in there. And I didn't get if things will be displayed there. I would assume the projects would be displayed there too, but they got a lot going on. She's got a singer, entertainer coming one night and wild horse race. And
Yeah, did she talk about the wild horse race and insurance at all, or? She just mentioned that they're having a wild horse race.
I don't recall
Just fair warning.
an insurance thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's running it, so shouldn't be a problem.
And for that, well, they're doing the food truck thing again. We discussed the building project. Right now, the hope is to have a cement pad down there so kids aren't playing in there with.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Playing in there where there's rebar and sand. Yeah. That's about it.
Okay. I went to a meeting in Miles City on last Thursday for mental health center. They got through their audits. They had some deficiencies noted, but nothing concerning. Overall, they're doing pretty good financial wise. They're doing a pretty good job with retaining employees. They had one problem employee that the problem's been solved, and going forward, the issue will not reoccur. But they had to change some of what they do. No big grants or anything coming in, so pretty normal for them. I did talk to them about Glendive had a patient, underage female, that needed to go to Minot. Yeah. No, not Minot, Fargo. Had to go to Fargo for treatment. And Glendive ambulance, they called Terry. Terry's like, we're not going there. They called Circle. Kim's like, we're not going there. I mean, because you get, I mean, not that it's a huge deal, but you get paid for loaded mile. So you'd be driving all the way across North Dakota. You get paid for that, but you ride back, you don't. And it's, how far is it to?
500 miles.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long drive in an ambulance. So I asked the health center people and they're like, yeah, we don't really do that. Okay. So it's more the hospitals and whatnot. And it's not committee reports, but it was last Thursday. I got 2 different calls. One is about noxious weeds on south of Flowing Well, and the other one was on Ash Creek. So more and more people are noticing, especially now that everything's dying except for the noxious weeds.
Yeah.
So there's been multiple questions now about, well, what are we doing about this? So the one suggestion was to take road crew guys. And I'm like, well, we can talk to them, but it's not a solution because the road crew was trying to get stuff done with their projects. Well, what I did think about was our 2 guys up north. I wonder if we could talk them into like 2 days a week of spraying weeds. And if nothing else, if they would take the spray pickup, take it up north and start there. So at least they're going out and spraying some. It'd be overkill, but we paid $400 an hour for 13 hours of flying plus chemical. So, and I don't know if they're up for it, if they'd be willing to do it, or if they would want to do it separately. I don't think there's anything that says it has to be 2 people going out. It's just always safety wise, it's better to have 2, but we can at least look at it.
There's going to be a licensing issue with
Well,
the chemical applicators.
if it's just Banville and LB6, you don't need a
Oh,
license. And I get it, that's not ideal, but and I didn't know, can you spray Tordon without a license?
I think Tordon's one you're supposed to.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to have a license for it.
Yeah.
Okay. But we could look at some kind of, even, and I get it, it's not ideal, but even if it's just Banville and LB6, it knocks it back,
Right.
because it's the wrong time of year and it's too hot. I mean, the other morning I got up and it was 80 degrees or almost 80 degrees. Well, some of those chemicals, you're supposed to quit at, 85? So unless you're getting up at 4, you could get 4 or 5 hours in probably, maybe 6. So I don't know, I'm not saying we have to do it, but, I did tell one person, I was like, well, the only consolation is last year we sprayed nothing. So at least this year we sprayed, and we'll have to ask Sherry. But if we hire him for another 10 hours, yeah, we'll get another 10 hours of spraying, but that's gonna be, we'll be 12 grand into the budget. So that's almost 1 employee for the year. But something's gotta be done. That's not really a committee. Okay, so the minutes are done. We can deal with the gravel issue. The budget's online. Just to go over the compensation board. So the recommendation from the board is a 5% wage increase, which it's like 2.69 was the COLA. So it would be over that, but it was unanimous from the people that voted on the compensation board. Sherry will see if she can fit that in. Also looking at changing the resolution to take the TAC to 90% of the wage, the ATAC to 85%, and then install a shift differential pay of 50 cents an hour, which will be recorded on the timesheets. And the individual is going to have to, they and their supervisor have to track the hours, submit it as to how many hours on each day were overtime, or not overtime, but shift differential. And if they miss a month, that's, the policy is going to be, we're not going to go back to old timesheets, because we could drive ourselves crazy. And it'll be implemented on the 1st of the month following, when everything is all set up in the pay system. So again, we don't, because they can track it for now, but until the system's set up, we're not gonna do it. So I think that covers everything for my page of notes. Oh, and then the night shift is gonna be 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I think that was it. So that's between the agenda and that, I think we're
Wrap.
good for the July 27 meeting.
Ruby.